NEWS.MC on Monaco Info is brought to you by Monaco Legend Properties. Our exclusive interview with the personalities making the Principality.
Hi, my name is Marc Mourou. I'm 39 years old and I'm the president of Generation Monaco, the new political party in the Principality. I'm Monegasque, born and raised. I've been living here all my life, except my studies. Like a lot of Monegasque people, we have to go a little bit abroad, except Nice, but we have to go abroad if we want to have engineer schools or business schools. I went to the kindergarten that was called Préscolaire Bozio. That doesn't exist anymore. Now it's next to Boulevard de Belgique and Parc Princesse Antoinette, so it's a new one, but this was kindergarten. Then I went to École des Revoirs, and then I went to Collège Charles III and Lycée Albert Ier. So everything in the public sector here in Monaco. I've done 2 masters, one in marketing and creativity and one in project management. So abroad, France, Italy, and in Sweden, in Stockholm, in Scandinavia, for the first part of my professional life. And I lived 2 years in Stockholm after my last internship because I really liked Sweden and I wanted to start as an employee there before coming back to Monaco to start my own company and become CEO in the e-commerce industry. I've always been passionate about politics. I've always, loved to watch political sessions on TV when I was younger. I have, of course, examples in my family as well. But I would say it's probably around, the high school era that I really liked watching all of these political debates on TV. So this is where I was like, okay, I really want to probably become a politician. And of course, the most noble term for this work. So this is where it all started. And regarding your question about education, so I really think, of course, it's one of the most urgent topics for Monaco because, of course, Monaco is a beautiful country. We have so many things and, of course, we are not to blame, but still we have a lot of things that we can still improve. And I'm thinking especially about the daily schedule for kids regarding their timetable. At school, they always have, like days that are pretty long. So they start at 8 a.m. in the morning, they finish around 6 p.m. And then after they have to go home, they have a lot of homeworks to do. And this, of course, doesn't let a lot of room for sports or cultural activities or arts. And this is probably what I really needed to have, during my childhood here. I really liked being a student here in Monaco and a pupil, but still, I really wanted to have more sports, more art, more culture. And this is what we are suggesting right now with Generation Monaco as well, is to probably interest more people in other activities than just school, which is obviously the most important. I can summarize it like this. Monaco is a constitutional monarchy, so it means that the prince is the real boss of the country and has the executive power. But there are other institutions in Monaco, just like the parliament that we call here in Monaco Conseil National, or the city hall, la mairie. These are other institutions. You have, of course, so many others, but these are, I would say, the main one. And of course, the government, but the government is designated by the prince. So the prime minister, all the different ministers are designated by the prince. And at the parliament, it's the Monegasque people in Monaco that have nationality, Monaco nationality, that vote at the elections for the parliament and as well for the city hall. And so the parliament has a lot of powers as well, especially so they are co-legislateur, which is half of the legislative power with the prince and the government, obviously, that represents the prince. And the city hall has a lot of other powers regarding the city of Monaco. So that's basically how it works. And this is why it's not a democracy, but it's a constitutional monarchy, because we all have to work together. And this is very important in Monaco. We have a strong culture of compromises. Without the parliament or without the government or sometimes without the city hall, nothing can be done in Monaco. We have, especially for the state, between the government, the prince obviously, and the parliament to agree on different topics regarding laws or regarding the state budget, which is as well very important for Monaco and the country. It's pretty simple. At the last election, there were 2, I would say, main political parties, but one party was a coalition of 3 different parties. And then there was another political party that was created just a few months before the election. I was elected for the first time between 2018 and 2023 at the parliament. And this was with the political party called Primo. And then after this mandate, a new coalition, a new political party was created. And this is where I decided not to rerun for the elections and not to go back for 2023. And we just started this new political party in the Principality that is called Generation Monaco 3 months ago, February 3rd, with a lot of new people, like new Monegasque, new blood, but as well old, like former congressmen, just like me, that already had an experience at the parliament. So this is a very, very nice mix between experience and a lot of other generations. The political party is called Generation Monaco. We have people that are 20 years old, that are 60 years old, that are 40 years old. Like every generation in Monaco is represented in our political party. Our political goal with Generation Monaco is to create a real political life and offer a real interest in politics for Monegasque people, but as well for residents and for just people that love Monaco. So that's what we are trying to do right now with our conferences. So we had our first conference after the launch of Generation Monaco. Every time it will be about a different topic. The first conference that was 1 month ago was about health. So the healthcare sector in Monaco, that is probably as well one of the most urgent topics right now in the Principality. And it was very, very, important for us to bring the experts that are doctors, physios, nurses, and so on, and Monegasque people in the same room and try to gather ideas and try to make people speak to each other. So we had very, very interesting topics, but as well very interesting debates about the experts, how they work, how is it to be a doctor in Monaco, how is it to struggle as well when you start to learn and to start a physio office in Monaco, for example. And all these debates and conversations brought Monegasque people to the end of the conference to ask their questions and say, this is what is working right now in Monaco, and this is obviously amazing. I mean, again, we cannot really complain. Monaco is a beautiful country. The first people I talked to when I wanted to create this new political party was friends and family. So of course, I told them I really want to launch something new, something totally different, and offer something totally new for Monegasque people with Generation Monaco. So I wanted to have their advice, their opinion. But then after to more people that I knew, and people from the political world here in Monaco, in the political life here, they told me, I think you should really do it. There is something for you to do, especially with the passion that you have and especially with the people that you are going to bring around you, because you know that politics, of course, ideas and convictions are very, very important, and beliefs, but as well as who you are doing politics with. Your group, what you're trying to bring, your values, your principles. And this is the most important thing for me. So when I decided to create Generation Monaco, I really tried to do everything that in my power to offer the best group and political party that I wanted to do. So Monaco is very unique. It's like, one of these very tiny states, micro-states as we call them, that are very special. So Monaco, how to run it, we always say that we run it like a company as well, very efficient in our political, for example, social affairs, for our economy, for our environment policies. So all of these topics are pretty hard to describe in just a few words, but basically we are trying, to turn the fact that we are a small country, and so sometimes people can see it as, a weakness, but no, to turn it into a strength, because we are small, but we have big dreams. And this, obviously, when it's Monaco, you want to be ambitious, you want to have the most amazing quality of life for residents, for Monegasque people, of course, but as well as tourists that just come here and, they probably hear about the awareness of Monaco. You, of course, have the Monte Carlo Casino, you have the Princely family, you have the Formula One Grand Prix and all these, but Monaco is much more than just these sides. There are so many other sides. There is a strong culture, strong identity, and strong traditions. So you have to make it all work with people that are Monegasque, and we are a small community there, but people from abroad that come, invest in Monaco, live in Monaco, have their kids that go to school in Monaco. So of course, even though we are a small country, we have all the same problems as, a very big country, and all the same topics. So Monaco has had a big change because, of course, for the last 15 years, everybody can see when you are walking in Monaco, all the buildings, all the different, projects that are being done. And of course, this is a very important part of Monaco that is bringing a lot of money and especially a lot of VAT to the state. So this is definitely one business model that has been working for the last 15, 20, maybe even more, 40, 50 years in Monaco. And that is very important. But as well now, especially with the new generation, I think new topics can be as well be a complement. You have, of course, the digital industry that is very, very now big. If we, for example, talk about the AI, that is now, a real revolution in the world. Monaco as well has to probably adapt and has to use this technology to become one of the pioneers, at least the micro-states, but at least as well of all the different states in Europe. If you talk as well about the environmental topic, I think Monaco has a very strong potential for the last maybe 15 years, but probably ahead to suggest and offer something totally different and probably show how Monaco can be an example in this world that is, all about business and stuff, but the environmental causes are as well and topics are very, very important. The Monaco economy and local economy, so our people that work in stores, in shops, in restaurants, all these little and I would say small entrepreneurs that are so important for the Principality, they have to work hard and we have to support them here in Monaco if we want them to survive and to be able to choose something else than just being a civil servant or work at SBM, which is obviously an amazing career, and people of course have amazing lives being paid and having these kind of jobs that are very interesting. But we have with digital, with the environmental topic, or with being an entrepreneur, young entrepreneur in Monaco, we have, I think, the mission to offer and to propose to our Monegasque and young Monegasque people a different path. And this is very important for the future of Monaco. This is very important to keep growing and keep dreaming. It's very, very important. I think Monaco is very international. You have a lot of different nationalities, 140 on 2 square kilometers, which makes it, again, very unique. And I think for our generation, between 20 and 40 years old, we grew up with, this thing where you have to speak different languages. Of course, if you speak French and English, it's already amazing. And for Monaco, I would say it's enough. But if you have the chance to go abroad to study or to do internships, then of course, you will probably learn another language like Spanish, like Russian, like Chinese, like Arabic. In Monaco, in the streets here, you can hear a lot of different languages. And that's what makes Monaco very beautiful in a way, because of course, we are us Monegasque, a small community and residents, but we all live and work in the same country. So we all have to adapt a little bit to each other. Monaco has this unique and competitive advantage compared to a lot of other places in the world to be in the center of Europe. So you have obviously the sea, you have the ski resorts that are just 1.5 hours from Monaco. But if you just catch a flight, you can be in Rome, you can be in Paris, you can be in Barcelona. So all this lifestyle is pretty amazing, and that's another strength that Monaco has and can offer to its residents. Sports in Monaco is one of the most important topics for our country, and thanks to, of course, the Prince as well, that really loves sports. So yeah, regarding the Parliament, I was for 4 years the President of Education, Youth and the Sports Committee. So I really, of course, I love sports, and I think it's definitely, it has such a huge potential for Monaco. So just like you said, the Sportil, this is more like the business side of sports, but as well Monaco, where so many people in Monaco play sports, love to run, love to go to sports events like we have right now with the Formula One, with the Rolex Tennis Masters, with the swimming competition, with so many other sports activities that we have. For kids as well, growing up here, I think it's pretty unique to have the sea where you can just go, on a sailboat and go for a few hours during your daily schedule for 2 hours and go on the sea. So sports is all around Monaco, and the environment of Monaco makes it very, very easy, I would say, even though I think we should have even more sports. When you are a child in Monaco, you have even more time that is allocated to sports. For me, politics is a vocation, and I'm trying to be very involved. So with my first mandate, but right now with the creation of Generation Monaco, you're right, it's something that you have or probably you don't have. Of course, you can learn, but I think it makes it, again, more interesting and easier if you always been passionate about politics, because it brings this authenticity, and this real thing that you are trying to show, and when you're trying to help people, I think people can really feel it. So when you're passionate about something, it can be politics, business, sports, whatever it is, I think people can see that, you're being real. So our political party, Generation Monaco, is open to everyone. Obviously, it's priority to Monegasque people because we are such a small community and we have a lot of members that are Monegasque. But we have as well a percentage that are residents and that are very interested in the political life here in Monaco. So everybody is welcome. All our conferences, public meetings are open to everybody. So really, please feel free to come, feel free to ask questions, feel free to bring as well everything that you have on the table for us. This is our DNA at Generation Monaco. Everybody is welcome.
That's all for today. Thank you for watching NEWS.MC, your English rendezvous on Monaco Info. Discover more interviews and stories on our websites, NEWS.MC and MonacoInfo.com. This show was brought to you by Monaco Legend Properties.